Hey everyone, it's been a while. 2 weeks since I've done a video. And apologies for the lack of interaction, but to be honest, I don't really know what to talk about that I haven't already said, if I'm being brutally honest. So here we are, what are we now? Towards the end of June. Nothing's really happened. We have secured Kulusevski, which for me personally, I think is a great move. I think he did so well in his first half a season. Been plagued with a little bit of injury last season. We haven't really seen the best of him, but I do think he is a quality player and one we should keep hold of, especially when Bentancur comes back, because I think Bentancur really helps Decky's play, and I think they come as a really good pair together, and I think it's a great signing. Apart from that, everything else has been innuendo, rumour, and to be honest with you, constant arguing. Like, whenever you see anything, we're linked with any player, you get the negative and the positive sides arguing the toss about whether it's a good player, whether it's a bad player, whether it's true, whether it's not true, whether it's the cheap option, whether it's a Levy masterclass, whatever it might be. And I'll be honest, it just kind of drives me mad. I'm not a fan of the transfer window and all that kind of stuff, because it's just hype. It's just Sky Sports hype to try to keep everybody amused and involved during this period. And for me, I just don't think it's worth it until a player actually signs a contract and you see the release video, the official release video from Tottenham. Then I'm not really bothered. We know what we need. If it's true that Hugo's moving on, then of course we need a goalkeeper. We've been linked with Raya for quite a while, and then there's all the arguments about whether £40 million is too much for him or not enough for him or what. At the end of the day, the owners will do what they want. If they want to pay 40 million, they will. If they don't want to pay 40 million, they won't. And then you've got to look at whatever options there are. Now, if this other guy that they're looking at, and I can't say his name, is as good as a lot of pundits have said, then you've got to give him a chance. And the reasons why he comes as opposed to Raya, well, that's just by the by. You've got to ultimately just support the players that you've got, players in your team, in your squad, and hope that they are good options and good players. I honestly don't believe that Daniel Levy pulls every string when it comes to these purchases. I think he probably sets what he wants to spend and how much evaluation is and all the rest of it, but he must take insights from the recruitment team, from the scouts, from the manager, from the new director bloke that is brought in. All these guys, I know they don't officially start until the 1st of July and that, but you can't tell me they don't talk to each other. There's reasons why it's the 1st of July, and that's just the way it is. But for me, I think the bigger issue is about who we let go and letting some of these players go that are not going to fit with what Postecoglou wants and what how he's going to play and so on. And only he knows which ones are in that mould. I mean, as fans, we'd probably want 90% of the squad out. It's unrealistic. It's going to take time to kind of move them on. But I think when we start moving players out, that will determine where we're going and what we're doing. Because it's not that easy. It's not that easy just to sell certain players to different clubs. It seems like the only people making any kind of moves to move players on are Chelsea and their dodgy dealings with Saudi Arabia. And we all know how dodgy that looks. So it's early days. And last year when we were talking and we were signing players early, I honestly was calling out, oh, this is going to be great. You know, the fact that we were buying players early and that was going to lead to a great season. And look how that turned out. So there's no point kind of making any assumptions about what's really going to happen and where we go from, and what's good for the club and what's not good for the club. We've tried buying players that everyone wanted. You know, on Dombele, I've mentioned it before. Everyone was like, "This is a great player. He's really good. Exactly what we need." And look how that turned out. You know, Lo Celso came with a really good reputation. Look how that's turned out. Sessegnon. You know, the list goes on and on. So I'm not going to get myself all worked up and upset about who we buy and who we don't buy. I'll just wait and see how it pans out at the end of the transfer window. If we can get a goalkeeper, great, because I think it's a position we desperately need, even without Hugo moving on, which I'm sure he is. 2 centre-backs, absolute 2 centre-backs we desperately need. Quality centre-backs at that. And then creative midfielder, desperately need someone in that position. So for me, you've got to have 4 brand new quality signings coming in this window to even scratch the surface. But we also need to move on a lot of players to free up those positions. I mean, I would love to see some of these guys come back and actually be really good. You know, your Reguilons, your Winks, and your, I don't know, Lo Celso, and you know, whoever. It would be great to see them actually come back and do a great job. I just can't see it. I think that opportunity has passed. So it'll be interesting, really interesting. But like I say, I've not been making videos because I'm not in the know. I don't know an awful lot about players from different clubs, even, you know, or different leagues or whatever. So I'm reliant on listening to what other people say, but I'll pass judgment at the end of the season, next season, on how they've performed and whether they've been a success or not in my own head. So yeah. So just a quick video, really, just to kind of give you an update on why I've not been saying too much. You can follow me on other socials. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook. So you can find me if you want to interact outside of YouTube. I did want to just call out some of these guys that have stuck by me all this time, because I see I did hit the 1,400 subscriber count, which is amazing for me, you know, someone who's kind of just doing it as a bit of fun and giving my opinions. But so I did get that, and it went up quite a bit, and now that's kind of fading off, as it does certainly when you don't do videos every week, or people kind of follow you for, you know, instantly, and then realise that actually you're not for them. But there are people that have really stuck by me the whole time, and they interact with me quite often. So I just wanted to call out a fair few of them, and if I miss you, I apologise, but I was trying to just write down some names of the guys that I talk to on a regular basis. So England Forever at 861, Paul Walton 1222, Graham Merry 7031, David Calvino, Ella Chiavon 581, Mark Shaz 869, The Realist 2033, Superman 01011, Mazik Bal 4468, Russell Matthews 61, Sven, I Want to Drink From Your Wild Eye, great name, Stacker 76, Richard Norris 3095, DJ Paul Lawrence 9993, Colin Turner 4158, Daryl Hegarty 7400, The Irish Hotspur, Dave Hotspur 708, Lappers 8276, and Park Ji Ho 6190. Just a few names that I talk to on a regular basis that always comment and always have something to say. And there are loads and loads of others that I've missed out, so apologies for them. But guys, thanks very much for hooking in. If there's anything for me to talk about, then of course I will jump back in. But you know, expect a slow response over the next few weeks until the season kicks off, when I'll be back ranting and moaning as I always have. So keep the faith. Thanks for watching. up the Spurs.